Hello, I'm Ian Scales. You're watching TelecomTV, and I'm about to conduct an executive inside interview with John Rintoul, who is the European VP for Skyfire. John, we're going to talk about video optimization and what your company does in the cloud area for that. Could you give me a bit of background first, please?
Yes, certainly. So Skyfire is a Silicon Valley-based vendor selling infrastructure to service providers. And only last week we actually introduced a new iteration of our Skyfire Rocket Optimizer solution, version 3.0, to bring new features and functions to assist the mobile operators with deploying mobile video across their networks. One of our unique differentiators that we see today is maximizing the use of cloud infrastructure. Video is very processor intensive, and we believe by doing it centrally in a common elastic cloud of compute power, we can deliver better results for that operator into the network for their subscribers.
The normal way of doing video optimization is to use appliances scattered around inline in the network, but your approach is to use cloud infrastructure, elastic cloud.
Correct. Skyfire is a software company. We run on commercial off-the-shelf hardware, standard x86-based processors, which can, of course, be bundled together to just bring sort of capacity and processing power on demand into the network. And traditionally, the way optimization has been done in networks is by building appliances at the edge of the networks by the sort of into the packet core, by the GGSNs in the GI, and which sort of strands processing power out there, particularly when you need to manipulate video at its very heart, because it's very processor intensive. And our view is that you don't need to do that all the time for all the video. You should actually be more surgical and selective, and enable tools for the operator to deliver, say, that sort of processing power when required by their subscribers.
An important aspect of this, of course, is that for a lot of the time operators want the video to run at full speed. They don't need to optimize it, and of course they're getting paid increasingly because of their tiered tariffing and so on. So your solution is very much aligned with that.
Absolutely. And we see in Skyfire, I think there's various indexes out there, Cisco's networking index, which shows that in 3 years, 70% of all the traffic on a mobile data network will be mobile video. And when 7 out of every 10 bits of the traffic on your network is video, operators need to become a video delivery network. They need to understand video at its very heart. So what we can actually bring to them is, instead of touching a little bit of every video that goes across their network, we can enable them to bring a massive difference by stripping the video back to its very core constituents and rebuilding it, and doing a full transcode of the video for particular subscribers at particular times. I mean, our argument is, why would you want to deploy HD video all the time on an iPhone or any other device, when really it's imperceptible to the subscriber at that time the amount of definition they're getting from that screen. So our view is, target when you need to make the video play in the network, such as times of congestion, a busy hour, when the subscribers may be in buildings or behind a wall and poor coverage, then the network operator really needs to be able to do as much as they can to keep that subscriber happy.
Increasingly, operators are developing what they're calling heterogeneous networks, which are not just cellular networks, but include Wi-Fi, carrier Wi-Fi, as we're seeing this year. Your approach really suits that too.
Absolutely. One of the big benefits of a cloud approach, which we are taking, is this pool of resource can be invoked by any on-ramp or any subscriber as steered by the network intelligently. So, for example, once you understand the user agent, and it's just an IP flow in the network, then of course you could bring relief to any subscriber if they're on a Wi-Fi public hotspot, for example, in McDonald's or a Starbucks or any other activity, because playing video in those environments still is a challenge for the service provider. There is still stalling and there is still congestion in the networks. It's not as clear as perhaps a macro radio environment or a 2G, 3G or even 4G network, but I think that the point remains that if we can help a mobile operator by shrinking the video as much as possible, and to some degree, 60, 70, 80%, depending on the type of user agent and type of environment, it brings a benefit to allow that subscriber just to see. Particularly if the content they are looking to view is over-the-top content from YouTube, or a child's 8th birthday party that doesn't need to, say, be cached around an entire network. They just want to see it as small as possible, surgically to the particular device, a particular time, to enable that video to play.
John, thank you very much.
Thank you, Ian.